What's going on, everybody? This is Clint from the Diehard MMA podcast. This is odds.com. This video was filmed exclusively for odds.com. We break down UFC 257, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, with special guest, the UFC's own Brian Boom Kelleher, helping us out on the podcast. It's a great episode. Make sure you check it out. Hit the link below. Head on over to odds.com.
All right. First fight of the night here for UFC 257. We've got a women's fight. We've got Victoria Leonardo taking on Manon Fiorot. Victoria's 8-3 with Manon Fiorot. You know what? I'm on the wrong fight. That's Wednesday. My bad.
Yeah, I was
My
like, wait a
bad.
second.
I'm like, this sounds familiar. I already said that. Amir Albazi taking on Zhalgas Zhumagulov is our first fight on Saturday. Amir Albazi, 13-1, really hyped up prospect, high on the grappling skill set. Zhalgas Zhumagulov comes in 13-4, a Russian-tested, battle-tested veteran in the UFC. Kind of had a bit of a rough patch so far with his UFC career, but these guys match up pretty well, in my opinion. And the betting line says so as well. Albazi is a plus 100 even money underdog with Zhalgas Zhumagulov a slight favorite, minus 120, minus 125. Brian, is there anything in either of these guys' skill sets that you can talk about or you feel strongly about?
You know, I feel stronger towards Amir. I just think with the grappling skills, he's going to be able to dictate where the fight goes. I don't know a whole lot about both of these guys, but I know they're pretty new to the UFC, and they're both at flyweight. So I see the fight probably going the distance. You know, especially with Amir's grappling skills, he'll be able to kind of dictate that and keep the fight where he wants. And you know, he's 1-0 in the UFC, so he started off good, and I think he's going to keep the momentum going.
I like that, man. I like that. This is a rebooked fight. They were scheduled to fight a little while back, and my initial lean was to Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I don't know what it is, but I think the guy's a little bit underrated. But as the time has kind of passed and I've been looking at this fight longer, I think you're right, man. I think the youth and the explosiveness of Albazi is going to really make the difference here. And Zhumagulov's never been submitted, so that bears saying that I think Albazi, even though he's got 8 submissions on his record, I don't know if he's going to sync one up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he can get a finish. I think more, you know, with his grappling skills, he'll probably just kind of get the points going and keep it there. But you know, he doesn't want to deal with the striking. If that's where he feels safe, I think that's where he'll take it.
All right. I like it. So me and Brian kind of seeing eye to eye on this one. It's looking kind of like a dog or pass spot. Albazi opened up plus 135 as the underdog, sitting around even money right now. So, you know, if you're getting even money on the guy you think's going to win the fight, not really a bad wager. So First pick agreeing there for both of us. Next up, we've got Nick Lentz taking on Movsar Evloev. This one's interesting to me because Nick Lentz was supposed to be fighting Grundy in this slot. Grundy, I think, popped for COVID, had to pull out, and actually his most recent opponent, Movsar Evloev, fills in for him here. So kind of a fun little mix and match thing we've got going. But Grundy was a minus 160 favorite, I think, so just kind of a slight favorite over Lentz. Movsar comes in here, and they crank that all the way up to minus 400. Apparently, the bookies in the betting market feel a lot more strongly about Movsar than they do about Grundy. Is there anything you can tell us about either of these guys?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, Mavswar beat Grundy, so I think that's part of that plan, you know, with the bookies, and they see that, and he's an undefeated guy, you know, and I think this is kind of one of those fights the UFC is like, well, you know, Nick Lentz has been here for a long time, let's kind of build someone off of him, and that's Mavsar. You know, he showed a good debut, and you know, Nick Lentz has a nasty guillotine, though. He definitely has that grindiness, you know, he's a tough guy, he's a veteran, and he's going to have a lot more experience in this fight, so you got to watch out for that. I don't think he's fought in some time, though. I don't know when Nick Lentz fought last, but yeah, I got to lean toward Movsar. You know, I think he's going to have a big reach advantage in this fight, be able to pick apart Nick Lentz from the outside and probably avoid that guillotine and win a decision here.
I completely agree, man. That's Nick Lentz is one of these tough and gritty older dudes. You can't count him out. That veteran savvy, he can pull that out at any point. But I got to tell you, in Movsar's last fight with Grundy, if Grundy didn't get that Darce choke, I don't know if anybody's choking this guy out.
Yeah.
Did you see that one? Do you remember him fighting out of that?
No, now that you say it, I kind of remember. Yeah, he got out of that choke. It was pretty damn tight, and I don't
It
know
was
how he
deep.
slipped out. Yeah, I mean when that happens though, you burn your arms out. You know, you're going for a choke, you're going full fledged trying to squeeze. You think you have it, and then this guy outlasts it, and then you're like, what do I do now? Because now my arms are burnt out. So definitely impressive that he got out of that.
Yeah, big time. And Movsar's got some underrated striking too. That's another thing for me is he's really marketed as being a grappler. He's another one of these Russian grinders we always talk about. But this guy can strike. Like, he's coming along. This kid is hot. I think he's deserving of the price tag. I'll say that. And unless he makes some egregious mistake, I don't really see how he loses, but we don't have much of an opportunity to get any value on him because I'm not laying 4-1 on this guy to win the fight. Maybe if you can get him by decision, that's still minus 250. You're having to lay 2.5 units to win one on that kind of a bet. So kind of a steep price. I don't know if there's really an angle I like from a betting perspective on this one.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tough gauge, because we don't really know what kind of Nick Lentz we're gonna see, and this guy's new to the UFC, so that's always up in the air. Kind of don't really see, know what he's gonna bring to the table. If he's primarily a grappler, Nick Lentz is definitely gonna bring the pressure. I think forward pressure, try to get inside, with the reach disadvantage. But I think Masvidal will fight smart, keep him on the outside, and outstrike him for the majority of the fight.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that's a good read on it. So we're expecting Movsar by decision. Not a lot of question marks so far. Me and Boom agreeing on everything pretty much so far out the gates here.